And now I'm going to create a new measure called total EV sales per makers. I'm going to sum the electric vehicles sold column in the makers table, because in the question they asked us top 3 and bottom 3 makers, right? So I'm going to sum the electric vehicle sold column in the makers table. If you wrongly sum the electric vehicle sold column in the state table, you will end up with wrong result. So go to the report view and click the three dot and click new measure and name the measure as total EV sales per makers, and click equal, and then start write your formula. The formula I'm going to use is sum, and click the tab to select the options. Otherwise you can also use the mouse cursor. And the column I need to sum is electric vehicle sold column from the makers table, right? So click that and click and close the bracket and click enter. And now we don't need this column one, just delete it. The visualization I'm going to use is stacked column chart. Click the chart and in the x-axis add the makers, and in the y-axis add our DAX formula. And now we have got all the makers, but in the question they asked us to show only top 3 and bottom 3 makers. So how can we do that? Click the visualization and click go to filter and click maker, and here you see basic filtering. Click that option and convert it to top n, and they asked us to show top 3, but I think it is good to show top 5. So I'm going to enter 5, and it asks us to by which value did you need to filter down. Obviously the measure we created, right? So drag on that measure here and click apply filter, and now we have got our top 5 makers. We also want to find our bottom 5, right? So control C the visualization and control V, and just change the filter into top 5 into bottom 5 and click apply filter. Now we have got the bottom 5 makers. They asked us to show the data based on years, right? So I'm going to filter down this data by years, so that I'm going to create a button slicer and drag and drop the physical year here, but it isn't working. I think it having some error. I'm going to convert it into a card, and yeah, what Power BI is doing is it sums up the whole fiscal year column in the date table, but summing up the years like 2022, 2022 and so on till the whole column, it doesn't make sense, right? If you see this symbol here, then means this column is in a number format. If it is in number format, Power BI automatically sums the whole column. So we need to convert this column into text. How can we do it? Go to Power Query, click transform data, and it will open a new window called Power Query. See, this is why Power Query is used. It helps us to convert our unclean data into a clean data ready for analysis. So click the fiscal year column. Here you see this 1 to 3, right? Click that and convert it into a text and click replace current, and now click close and apply. And click fix this, and now add fiscal year and convert it into a button slicer. And move this into field, and now we have got our button slices. And now when I click 2022, it filters the data based on 2022. When I click 2023, it shows data only for 2023. This is happening because of the data modeling we have built. If you make any mistake here, you will see wrong result. So that's why building a data model is very, very important. And if I unselect the year, now we will see the data based for all the years from 2022 to 2024. When I click 2024, I get the data based on 2024. They also want to see the data based on two-wheelers. So I'm going to add another button slicer just organizing the things. And now I'm going to add a slicer. Click the slicer option and drag and drop the electric vehicle category. And now when I click two-wheeler, I see data based for two-wheelers, and when I click four-wheelers, I see data based for only four-wheelers. Now we have tackled our first question, and now we can move on to our second question. Now click the visual and go to title. If you don't see this format, here you can select the option format and you will get it. Go to title and rename it into top 5 makers. And then click this visual, go to title and rename it to bottom 5 makers. And now I need to know what are the vehicles the top 5 and bottom 5 makers are selling. So that click the visual and copy paste and convert this visual into a matrix. It is just a simple table that helps us to show data based on columns and rows, and drag and drop the vehicle category to the columns. And again this copy paste this visual and convert it into a matrix. So this is a table and drag and drop the vehicle category to the columns. When I convert the top 5 and bottom 5 EV makers into a matrix table and I added the vehicle category as a column, and I noticed something really interesting. All the top 5 makers are selling only two wheelers and all the bottom 5 makers are selling four wheelers. That clearly tells us one thing: in India, electric two wheelers are selling way more than four wheelers. Now that's a powerful insight, right? But here's a important part I want you to understand. In a real company, your job isn't just to build dashboards and hand them over. You need to tell the story behind the data. You need to explain what the data means and how it can be help the business grow. That's called data storytelling, and that's what makes you stand out as a data analyst. Because tools are everywhere, but insights and communication, that's where the real value is. And we have solved our first question, and now we can move to the next question.